What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have no clue what I'm going to go ahead and title today's video. All I have to say is that Sledgehammer Games, you guys are like my favorite team now. It's insane. You went from being my most hated team known to man freaking kind. I'm going to be honest. I have to be real here. I despised this team for ages. But after Modern Warfare 3 and after all the stuff that's going on here, and obviously after Modern Warfare 3 Season 3 Reloaded, they just keep proving to me more and more and more that they are the team that gives a crap about Call of Duty. Yes, other teams do care, like Treyarch, for example. But when it comes to the community, the people who are playing the game day after day, the ones who support the franchise, Sledgehammer are the GOATs. Guys, today we are discussing everything with the mid-season event with Season 3, and trust me, we have a lot of stuff to go ahead and discuss here. Sledgehammer just went to town. Way more than I expected. You know, mid-season events, I don't expect anything, ever. And it's typical for me in the past to critique mid-season events in a kind of iffy way, you know, because they never give us anything. And usually the mid-season event content will last us maybe like, you know, a week, maybe less, and then we're done, and we gotta wait till season or the next season that comes up, right? But this mid-season event is just legendary, and Sledgehammer Games is setting the levels so high right now that it's going to be impossible for any other team to do anything else, you know, compared to what Sledgehammer is doing here, because the bar is set so freaking high. The slightest bit below this bar and the community's going to riot. But of course, let's get into the actual details of this freaking amazing, outstanding update by Sledgehammer Games. Now, I do want to mention, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We do post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. So like I said, stay notified by hitting that bell. And of course, once X-Defiant drops, we're going to post a ton of content about that game as well. And if you guys want to go ahead and catch some live streams, I'll be live again today over on Kick, grinding out the mid-season event a little bit further, diving into more details, more perks, more, you know, attachments, more things to mess around with, gun buffs and nerfs. We're going to be going over all that stuff in today's stream. So if you guys want to tune in and even hop into the open lobbies that we host over there, I got a link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video, and that stream goes live between, I would say, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I want to start off with some of the negatives. I will say there are a few problems with this update here. I've noticed some audio bugs, visual bugs, a lot of invisible barriers that I can't hop over. I just don't notice. Things not rendering into the game itself. I've noticed, like I said, the sound cues aren't going off. When I throw a grenade, some matches, my hand absolutely disappears. But when it comes to anything absolutely game-breaking, something that's going to pull me out of the experience or give me a freaking seizure from looking at, like in Black Ops Cold War, when the sky used to flicker 24/7 on my screen, and I literally couldn't play the game at that point. It was so bad. Anything like that, no. It's very minor things that should be resolved very quickly, and the overall experience is intact. It's not much that went wrong with this one. Everything, in my opinion, went right. Of course, others might share different opinions, and I highly encourage you guys to go down in the comment section and share yours down below, because, of course, you know, my opinion isn't obviously the all-top best opinion. Like, no, my opinion is absolutely nothing. This is just my channel, so I share what I think about these games. So, you know, obviously, you guys might think differently. Leave it down below, but for me personally, everything went freaking outstanding with this mid-season event. I have to discuss this first and foremost. I want to talk about the modes. I want to talk about the weapons. But I said in one of my previous videos that if they don't touch upon the perks in Modern Warfare 3, Season 3 Reloaded, I'm going to be furious, because we went 2 seasons without them touching them at all, and it's getting me extremely worried. And guess what gets touched, ladies and gentlemen? The frickin' perks, guys. This is actually huge. I know some people might think this is nothing, but seriously, this is as big as it gets. I'm going to read them all for you guys. There are some other tweaks as well, but these are the main ones that I'm focusing on here. Climbing boots have been removed from the game, but this perk is going to be default to all players across the board. So basically, every one of us, we will have increased climbing speeds, mantling speeds, and reduced fall damage across the board. Guys, movement in Modern Warfare 3 is going to be outstanding, and I tested it. It is outstanding. It feels so freaking good. It already felt amazing in the first place. It's over the top now. It's so crispy. Again, for people who don't really care for fast-paced gameplay, it might not be your cup of tea. But for anybody who likes really cracked out movement, cracked out gameplay, fast-paced action in a Call of Duty game, it just adds to those vibes. You don't really got to worry about jumping off surfaces or moving around, climbing stuff, getting away from enemies. It's all so quick, and the faster you are, sometimes it might benefit you. And again, I don't know if everybody's going to enjoy this, but this is where it gets good for the people who don't want that type of movement. They are going to, in replace of the climbing boots, add in the all-terrain boots, and you guys can see them in action right now in this gameplay. The all-terrain boots are going to go ahead and give you just additional speed to your base sprint, but you can't tactical sprint whatsoever. Guys, when I tell you this feels like Treyarch, it feels like freaking Treyarch, and it makes me wonder if this was added into the game to give us a little taste of what Treyarch is going to do with the next upcoming engine. Now, I do have a video about that with Black Ops Gulf War, whatever they're going to title it. I'm going to make that video a bit later because I want to focus more on Season 3 Reloaded, but again, subscribe to this channel, hit that bell so you can stay notified when that video does go ahead and drop. But guys, it feels like Black Ops Cold War. The movement is so fast, I'm actually out-sprinting the majority of my teammates who aren't running this perk, and they're just using, slide canceling to gain that momentum. I'm outrunning all of them. So for those who are tired of movement, tired of slide canceling taking over Call of Duty, this perk is freaking for you. It's outstanding, guys. Outstanding. Like I said, it felt like I was playing a Treyarch game. So that is a huge one. They also buffed the running sneakers to improve sprint to fire time while using tactical sprint by 25%. Don't really care about that. What I really want to focus on is stalker boots. The increased strafe speed is now omnidirectional rather than lateral. Added walking smoothness benefit, decreasing the bounciness of the reticle while aiming down sight. So basically, before, you can only move in certain directions and the Stalker perk would be useful or actually function. Now, you can move in every single direction and it feels completely smooth. I didn't know that was the problem with the Stalker perk. I thought it was just really slow, but apparently it just didn't work when you tried to move in different directions. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Now, guys, I still wish it was a bit faster. I'm going to be honest, I wish it was a bit faster, but it is frickin' crispy. If you use this with the Bow Assault Rifle, you're going to be in heaven. It's such a fantastic combo. And talking about the Bow Assault Rifle, it is so frickin' good. I've seen some mixed opinions about this weapon here, but in my personal opinion, my take, I love this thing. Is it as overpowered as maybe an MCW? No, I think the MCW is still obviously going to be meta, but it is just so consistent and so enjoyable to use. It just feels fantastic in the hands. They also went ahead for the next aftermarket part here, introduced the Akimbo models. Yes, the OG Modern Warfare 2 models that everybody's been waiting for to be introduced into this game has finally been added. I also went ahead, I grinded that out within the same day, got some gameplay. They're all right. Honestly, the bow is what it's all about right now, in my opinion. But the Akimbo models, I feel like it's more of a troll weapon. They're fun. The ragdolls on the enemies when you shoot them with it, hilarious, They're really fun for movement. You can move really fast with them, navigate, slide, cancel, B-hop, and just, work around enemies really nicely. But they're just so inconsistent for me. They really are. I don't know if anybody else is sharing a similar experience or not, but I feel like sometimes I'll get insane one-taps, other times I gotta shoot them 5 different times, other times the bullets don't even register. I feel like something is off with it, but again, I don't know. I need a little bit more confirmation from you guys if something is wrong with this thing, but it just felt like it wasn't as consistent. If it got a buff, I feel like I would use it a lot more and it would be really fun. I can see the potential it has. Seriously, in this game, it has potential. It's just, I think I'd still rather, if I'm using a shotgun, use like the Haymaker with the aftermarket part or a pump action or something like that. It's a little bit more consistent than these, but it's really fun if you just want to go around and troll up and put sniper scopes on them or something to make them look stupid and have a few laughs. It's good for that purpose. But overall, we got a couple of good weapons right here, and also upcoming soon, we're going to be getting the M16 conversion kit that turns that into an SMG. So that's going to be really fun, adding more variety into the mix. These aftermarket kits have been fire recently as well, guys. I have to say that. Usually in the first 2 seasons, at least the first season, it was a bit rough and bumpy. But Season 3 and at the end of Season 2, they've been nailing them time and time and time and time again. All of them have been phenomenal. They have stepped their game up, and they truly know how to make a really solid aftermarket part here. Then, of course, we have the maps Grime, which was in the first gameplay on this video. Actually really solid. One of the homies pointed out that it's pretty much identical to Detroit from Advanced Warfare, and I didn't really believe it at first until I looked up an overview map of Detroit, And it's basically identical. It really is. I mean, the whole format. I mean, yeah, they changed a few things up to make it for a boots on the ground experience instead of jetpack. So certain lanes are different, certain locations are different. But the like bird eyes view down looking on the map, it's the same, bros. It's the same. It's kind of hilarious to look at a little bit. But this map is phenomenal. I love the flow of it. I think it works fantastic. Model for 3. Plenty of long lines of sights for ARs, LMG snipers, but at the same time, plenty of areas for SMG players to get down and dirty. Same thing with shotgun players as well. So I think people are going to really enjoy this one across the board. And then they have checkmate or check. I think it's checkpoint. Let me just double check really quick. Yep, checkpoint, which is not a brand new map. It is a map that's been brought in from Resurgence. What is it? Rebirth Island or whatever it is. It's basically the outskirts part of the map. Not shabby, but I will say it was so hard to find this map. I went and did a quick play launcher for a good like 10-15 minutes, just lobby surfing, joining in so many different games. Didn't pop up once. Then I went into the Season 3 mosh pit to see if it would be a little bit easier to find it. Searched for, again, another 10-15 minutes. Searched for so many games. Still nothing. I was starting to come to the conclusion that it's just not in the rotation. But eventually, down the road, I finally got into a match. It was like team deathmatch or so. I don't remember. I didn't get any gameplay on it, sadly. But I got into one game after trying for a very long time. I don't know if the rate for it is just extremely low, the pick rate, but hopefully they bump that up a bit so we can actually try it, you know? Not bad, though. You know, for a map that came from Warzone, I was a bit worried that the flow is going to be rough, and it is. I'll be honest. The spawns are really weird on it, and it's kind of what I expected. Tad bit more mediocre than the other original maps. But is it bad? No. It's definitely a smallish style map. It reminds me a bit of, like a little bit larger than Meat. It has a few more flank spots that are really efficient. It's a lot of indoor combat, but at the same time, it has some nice long-range angles for anybody, once again, that want to rock snipers, LMGs, long-range ARs. The best of both worlds. Overall, the content I enjoy, and I don't mind it. It's not horrible. It's not a horrible map, and that's all that matters to me. So far, Sledgehammer has been doing a really good job of bringing out good, consistent content, and I hope they come in swinging as well with Season 4, because the way they've been handling, adding in weapons, aftermarket parts, maps, knowing exactly what we want on the 6v6 side and 10v10 side of things, the multiplayer experience, has just been, it's been phenomenal. It's been honestly one of the best years I've had for content creation. I know a lot of people will tell you otherwise, but every single year it's just me complaining about how there's nothing to do. Like, realistically, that's it every single time around. And of course, I do enjoy covering news a lot and, leaks, rumors, making rants, commentaries. But when it comes down to talking about the game itself, every week there's new things. New aftermarket parts, new skins to grind for, new weapons being added into the mix, new attachments, maps constantly being put into the rotation. This is the most content we've gotten in a long time. Post-launch content. And it feels good. It feels good to enjoy this game for the time that I have. And again, if you don't enjoy it, that's fine. But for me personally, like I said, all these other years, it just feels great to get a break from that just abuse and to have a development team really hyper-focus on the overall community. But I'm really stoked about this update, guys. And again, they did do some meta shifts to the weapons, which again, I'll be going over in today's stream. I might discuss it in another video if they're really that drastic. I don't know. But for the time being, I'm content. The bow's tons of fun to use. Both maps are really enjoyable. The aftermarket parts are really, fun to grind. So I'm going to be, trying to get the next ones that are coming out, obviously. And of course, most importantly, for me at least, they finally fixed the perks. They focused on the perks. There's one thing that's missing still, and that's the swarm still deactivates upon your death. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get this to Sledgehammer. I already went ahead and made a video about this. Maybe I can make a tweet about it. If anybody's watching who works at the studio, please relay this back, because it's over 3 seasons now and it's still not fixed and it's driving me crazy. Every single time you call in the swarm, the second you die, it's over. The swarm suicide bombs and it's out of the sky. In order for the swarm to stay up there, you have to hide in the back of the map and not get killed, because the second you go down, the swarm goes down with you. It's like, I don't know, for some reason the swarm is connected to the player's health as well. So when the player dies, the swarm, I guess, considers itself the same and dies along with the player. I don't know what the issue is here, but that's one of the biggest problems for me personally when it comes to the streaks. I hope it gets fixed eventually. But everything else, though, really freaking solid here, Sledgehammer. You worked on a lot of the stuff that I asked you to work on. I know it probably wasn't for me personally. Obviously, my channel's so small, but it just feels good to know that, a lot of crucial things, because again, I really love COD, guys. I've been playing COD since Call of Duty 2, the big red one, okay? When I play these titles, I dissect them, I go into them, and I really crave to know what will help improve the overall experience, not only for good competitive players, but for the casual crowd. For everybody across the board. It's very crucial to nail that. And every single thing that I've been asking for across the board here, again, I know they're not listening to me, but they have been going at it, and usually, typically, none of these things will ever get resolved, but this game, they have been nailing them, and I gotta say, I'm really proud of you, Sledgehammer, and I appreciate you guys for actually caring about us for once, and unlike, a lot of these other teams out here. And before I let you guys go, I forgot to mention this as well, because it's huge for people who enjoy grinding Call of Duty. You have players like me who enjoy the fix of Call of Duty by getting streaks and going on, tears and getting kill streaks, score streaks, choppers, swarms. You have people like me who enjoy that, and then you have players who enjoy the casual side of the game, maybe grinding out your rank, grinding out the max camo, rewards, challenges, so on and so forth. They added in another aspect to this game to help you guys enjoy it a bit more. There is going to be max weapon prestiges now. Pretty simple as well. It's not too challenging. All you got to do is just max out the weapon, and then after that, it's all XP. Just basically using the gun that you enjoy or using the gun you want to prestige up. And every single season, they're going to drop a brand new max prestige camo for these weapons. So yeah, you guys have a bunch of stuff to do now. For those who already finished the camo grind, you have a whole list of new opportunities to go grind for. This is just a great idea, and I'm glad they're backing it up every single season, especially with not having a classic prestige system in the game. It always gets tiresome after you finish your max rank in such a quick period of time. To have something else additional on top of that for grinders is going to be huge. But guys, go down in the comment section, leave your opinions down below about how you feel about Season 3, Reloaded. Again, I know not everybody's going to share the same opinion. It might be a lot of negative people out there who don't really care for it, and that's fine. Tell me why you don't like it. But from my perspective, I really like it. With the handful of things that went wrong, overall, I think it turned out pretty dang good. And the content that they have to offer is great. And at the end of Season 3, we're getting a bunch of maps, a nice selection of weapons, and a lot of cool things to now go ahead and grind for, along with a nice perk mix-up. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And if you want to check out my live stream, I'll be live today over on Kick, probably around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And you guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.